Hi everyone, this is Laurel with Guided by Love, and I have a twin flame message that I want to get to you today. So we have the Moonology Manifestation deck in honor of the full moon yesterday, still feeling the vibes, and the Sacred Traveler deck, Denise Lynn. So let's get started and let's get some messages from the Moonology deck. So Holy Spirit, angels and guides, what is it that we need to know for this twin flame message? What are the messages for this twin flame journey? What are the messages? I knew that one was going to come up. Anything else? Okay, so this is overall energy is embrace the flow of life. So this is surrendering all, and you see the twins here connecting to the, the moon energy and grounding into the earth. But this is embracing the flow of life. This is surrendering everything to the divine, surrendering even your will, your own will to the, surrendering your own will to God's will, and, allowing, knowing and trusting that God has and knows your heart and knows your desires, knows your wishes. So surrendering all of it in order to be in the flow of love, be in the flow of abundance, of, everything that you've wanted. So, being in the flow allows you to attract rather than pursue. And it allows you to surrender all fears, all control, and give the control, because who truly has control, who truly has the bigger plan is God. So it's surrendering everything in order to have faith and trust that, what is meant for you is flowing to you. So that's the overall message. Beautiful. Full moon in Gemini, that's especially for the twins. So that message. And then we have attend to the details. So, this I feel is, you are both wrapping up cycles. You're wrapping up a huge chapter of the twin flame journey. So it's, checking out any details that you may have on in your journey to wrap up. Anything that is kind of like hanging out there to wrap it up, and that is, not getting lost in the details, but taking action. When you take action, you're moving forward. You're telling the universe, oh, I'm moving in this direction, and the universe follows suit. So part of manifesting is taking action. We have to do our part because we're co-creators with God. So as we take action, the universe follows and, helps us on our journey with those, with the rest of the details. So, we take that first step and the universe follows. So I feel like that's what this card is saying is, take the steps, the actions, wrapping up details of maybe an old chapter, or taking a step into the new chapter, and the universe is going to follow, because this full moon is about, stepping out of stagnant energy and moving forward into the new chapter, into new expansion. So we have to do our part because we're co-creators. So this is saying what action can you take, even if it's a small step, to move forward. Then we have full moon in Pisces, forgive. So, and again, here's the twins around the moon. And this is, Pisces has to do with emotion, a water sign. So this is, this is balancing out the emotions, the emotional body, the sacral chakra too, balancing out the emotions, which is going to bring you and your person more into the flow more into alignment with each other. And part of that balancing is surrender and forgiveness. So, we already had the card about surrender. This is saying forgive anything of the past, and recognize it, see it from that little soul in the sun. The story about the little soul in the sun, that people came here to play roles for us, to help us love ourselves even more, to remember who we are, and to remember our true nature is spiritual. And we're playing these, human roles with each other. So forgive what has happened. And, this is forgive, and not saying forget, but forgive and no longer hang on to any emotion, because this is going to help balance both of you as you forgive. And maybe it's forgiving your twin. Maybe it's forgiving something that happened on your journey, but this is to help balance and align your sacral chakra, your emotions as well. And then the last quarter moon in Taurus, this may mean something to you, the sign of the bull. Be proud of yourself. This is Spirit saying, be proud of all that you've accomplished on this journey. You and your person, the fact that you're coming into alignment, through your emotions, through wrapping up cycles, walking away from karmic cycles, you've made a lot of progress by the alignment that's happening within you, the balance that's happening, and letting go of any fears, because I just burped. So fears being released. And this is, Spirit wanting you to celebrate how far you've come. Celebrate, yourself, because this journey isn't meant for everyone. You were chosen. You were chosen because of your spirit, because you have a mission, a larger mission and a purpose. And this is saying, be proud of yourself. You've gone through some tough lessons, and this is the rising of the phoenix out of the ashes, really flying free, finding that freedom and flying free. And look at all the abundance ahead of you and your person. So beautiful. And then we have leave the past behind. Yep, that's what we've been saying this whole time. The last quarter moon in Capricorn. So leave the past behind. This is I'm seeing this as a portal. Here's the one end and here's the other. I'm seeing this as, you and your person are walking through this portal. Could be now, it could be now until the Lionsgate portal next month, which is next week, believe it, or this weekend, believe it or not. But this is what we've been saying is, release, attend to the details, release, forgive any, let go of any emotions from the past. And this is leave it all behind, because, and take that leap forward, take that movement forward, because, what's waiting for you is so much grander, so much more loving than what you're leaving behind. So, and so much bigger, so much more miraculous, unconditional love than what you're leaving behind. So let's get a message from your person. Those are beautiful messages. Whoops, a clump fell out, so I'm not going to take all this. Holy Spirit, angels, and guides, what is the message from your person? And we have wandering path in... This is so funny, because we had the map come out the other day, but this is your person saying, enjoy the journey. Don't worry so much about the destination. I have to make a confession here, an admission is that, since I was a little girl, I've always been the kid that, wanted to know before I got to the end of the book. I wanted to know what the ending was. It's like I like focused on the ending, and it wasn't so much that I wanted to know all the details until I saw the ending. And then I wanted to go back and read about the details. I know. So it's changing that mindset for myself. And this is spirit encouraging you guys out there that need the encouragement, is to enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. It's the journey where we learn our lessons and the most valuable things, and the destination is just the reward, the recognition that yeah, we did it. We are continuing to do it every day, but every day is a celebration. Every day we accomplish so much on this journey. And this is saying, you've been on this wandering path, and it's been a path, a roller coaster path as well, ups and downs of emotions. But this is spirit saying, it's leveling out. You're at the time in your life. Enjoy the journey. Find the joy in each day and make it count. And help others find the joy. Part of your gifts are to, again, share your unique gifts with others. And yesterday I encountered a woman that had just lost her dog, and this is a 94-year-old woman, and she lives by herself. She does have relatives close by, but she was just devastated, and I just gave her a big hug, and just really showed compassion for her, because I knew what that felt like. And it really brightened her day, um, to have someone that truly truly understood, showed that they understood. And yet we found the joy in the day. That was the first part of our interaction, and the rest later on in the interaction, we were laughing and singing songs, and so it helped her to find the joy. It helped me find the joy in the journey. So, remember that it's not just about you and your person. You and your person are always together in spirit, but it's about, bringing that in, using your gifts to bring that into others. So I love you so, so much, and namaste.